Hello there, Internet. How's it going? Welcome back to the show. Thanks for clicking on this one. My name's Pat Dan, and today we are back on Reddit Gets Drawn Badly. Okie doke. Here is the picture that I've chosen. Anyone want to draw my ducks and a rooster? I'm just gonna go with this first duck because it's the one that caught my eye. It's honestly a great photo. Professionally done. It looks beautiful. I'd pay for this photo. I'd frame it in my house. It's well done. I'll give I'll give the photographer props on this one. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. But before we get started, I do want to show you a little something. I've noticed a trend on YouTube recently, okay? And I just wanted to point this out. I wanted to send this to the world and let you guys know what's going on. This is big news. So there's like currently, I don't know how long this has been going on, but there's a trend on YouTube of small channels doing this thing where they like play Minecraft. Usually it's an old version of Minecraft and they just like talk about life. And it's like a very existential. And I've started a playlist. Okay. I've started a playlist where I've made it so I can add collaborators. I'm gonna try and remember to link the playlist in this description. I want to create a compilation of every single Minecraft therapy video that exists on the internet. Do you think we can do that, chat? Every single Minecraft therapy video? Let me know. Okay. If you happen to come across one, please drop it in the playlist. I mean, like, we could make a great deal of progress. I feel like um I feel like the reason that it's become so popular is because, well, A, obviously Minecraft's like the most popular game ever, most sold and like most played and whatever. Um, but also B, because it's been so popular for so long, like the people who played it originally are now like growing up and like having lives, right? So those people now have nostalgia for this game and they're like out trying to live their lives, trying to figure stuff out, whatever, trying to make rent, trying to get jobs and like, figure out how the world works. But these people are the same people who have played Minecraft in their childhood, which is distinctly different, to generations prior when they didn't even know what Minecraft was. So now these people who have all these existential thoughts and feelings and whims, they can express them through a medium that they feel is like nostalgic to them and feels like tied to emotion. Whereas like before this point, like no one would really care to make a video in Minecraft talking about serious topics. I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't really understand this movement. And the crazy part is like none of them are super like big, right? Like none of these channels have like an insane amount of views, but they all have like just the right amount of following where they can get like some advice or support in the comments and like people being like, yeah, I relate. Like it's just enough nostalgia bait to where people will click on it, but not enough to where the video like blows up. It's very, very interesting. I found so many of them on my homepage. And the reason I started that playlist is because I was scrolling one day and I was like, wait, this is like the fifth one I've seen. And so that day I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take every single one that I've seen on my For You page. Like I didn't even go hunting for them. I just went to my homepage and it was like, I'm gonna add every single one of the Minecraft therapy videos that I see into this playlist. Like I'm not looking for them. Like I'm not searching for them. I mean, I'm just looking literally at what YouTube recommends me and putting it down. And that's how much I found, which I think says a lot. It says a lot about the state of the Minecraft therapy scene. It's popping. You got to get in while it's hot because there's not much time left. Um, I feel like it's pretty much the equivalent of my videos, like these no edited videos. I feel like it's the equivalent of that, but like for someone playing Minecraft, like it captures a different niche. Um, because the niche that mine captures is people who don't exist. That's the niche I shoot for. Um, the ghosts who are like in the room with me right now is kind of my niche. So no one else other than those ghosts really see it, but for them it's like it's a hoot and a holler. They love it. Um, I guess I think I don't know. I haven't really talked to them, so I'm not entirely sure, but I think they love it. I also don't know that they're here. Like I really couldn't tell you whether or not they're in the room right now. Um, so I don't know. It's really kind of an interesting place we find ourselves in, where my entire audience is unknown to me, can't respond. Do they exist? Who's to say? This must have been what radio was like back in the day. Like there was no, you couldn't see analytics, you couldn't see who was listening. You just had to like assume people were listening, and then maybe once every so often someone would see you out in the wild and like recognize your voice and be like, "Wait, are you the radio guy?" And you'd be like, "Okay, so people do listen." I feel like we need to bring back radio, bro. I saw this you okay, so Google keeps recommending me like weird articles. It thinks it has me pegged, right? Which it does. Pretty much every article it recommends me, I'm like, "Huh, that looks interesting," and I click on it. So they've really nailed me down. I mean, there's not really anything they've fed me thus far that where I'm like, that is weird. I don't know why they'd say that that's something I would like. It's all usually like right on the money, right? So because of this, I usually read the articles they feed me, and one of the articles that I got fed recently was a video, not a video, an article that was about how someone like stopping using Spotify, right? Because they were like, "Oh, the bad business practices, like blah blah blah. It's the algorithm sucks. It's not feeding me what I want." All valid points. I'm just still a Spotify user because I'm a convenience based man. I live in whatever's easiest, and it's really as simple as that. Anyway, they were like, so I was search like I wanted to stop using Spotify, and I was searching and I was trying to find an alternative because everything like doesn't deliver what I want, right? Like I want a feed of new music combined with music that I know and love, and like just enough to where I can find new things but not stray too far from my niche that I'm already in. Like how do I find that? And then they were like, their solution in the end was like they just started listening to the radio. And I think that's like beautiful. It's really we've come full circle. It's a it's a real full circle moment here for us, and we are going back to basics. And I think that's a beautiful thing, is it not? Um I feel like we as a society, okay, this color's really messing with me. I feel like we as a society need to like all collectively decide that we're going back to radio. Like radio sucks, right? Like I don't know how that guy found that radio was his thing because it's horrible, and like they usually never play anything niche. Like it's because obviously why would they? Like no one's gonna like it. Um, and I think that's the benefit streaming has over radio, right? Is that like because you're the only one choosing what you're listening to. Like it doesn't matter what other people think. You can listen to stuff that's as weird as you want because it's not like anyone else is like listening over your shoulder unless they are. Um, which I commend you for that. I guess if that's your lifestyle of choice, but I think like if everyone just decided, okay, you know what, we're ditching all this, technology stuff. We're going back to like radio and like black and white television and like, bare bones basics. We're getting rejecting technology. I feel like it would be beautiful. Like maybe if it was a holiday, like imagine if that was a holiday where like once a year, every year, everyone was like, okay, we're just gonna agree, like we're not gonna use this, like we're not gonna use this today, and you won't feel like you're missing out because you're like, oh, everyone else is doing it. So like they're not seeing anything that I'm not, you know, like I'm not getting FOMO because I know that like we're all here in the same boat. I feel like that would be a fun holiday. And it wouldn't even have to be like it wouldn't have to be a national holiday. It wouldn't have to be every single person ever participates in it. It would just have to be like enough people to where you're like, okay, like this many people are doing it. I feel like I could get in on this and not feel like I'm missing out. Like I could feel a part of something because we're all detaching at the same time. Like a movement of detachment so that you're not really detaching, like you're attaching to this new group of people who are doing this movement while detaching from the toxic nature of technology. It's kind of like beautiful. It solves every problem just right there in one fell swoop. So that's my idea. That's my plan. Let me know how many of you are going to join me in this journey. You know, we'll do a once a year uh, detox, global detox. And by global, I mean just us. But that's all we need. It's just enough, you know, just enough of us. Um, Again, that was to the ghosts in the room, as you know, my only fans. So ghosts, let me know. let me let me know how you feeling about that idea. Okay, huge news, actually, massive news. I don't know when this video is coming out, but recently announced was the Northern Lion Super Cruise. Me, if you know anything about me, I'm a massive Northern Lion fan. Northern Lion is literally my like goat. Like he's the one. Northern Lion is like my perfect content. Um and I was so happy. Like not that I was going to go. Like there was no way in the world that I would go. It just logistically doesn't seem like something that would be possible for me, but just the idea that it existed made me so happy. Like I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is awesome." Like I was legitimately so excited for something that I was never going to experience. But my dreams were crushed recently. Unfortunately, we had a crushing of souls. Um in a word, I would describe my feelings as heartbreak and overall discontent. I was kind of laying in bed for the entire day when it was announced, and I was like I was out of sorts, you know, it really threw everything away for me. Everything that I was hoping on, it all just kind of crumbled before my eyes, and it was really rough. It was really rough. Uh I I now have like kind of somewhat recovered, but it's still like just thinking about it. It's tough to stomach, you know, tough to swallow. The cruise was canceled 3 days after it was announced. Um, which honestly very sad how short its life was. Great for the ticket purchasers though, for the people who already booked, which apparently it was like almost fully booked or something, if not fully booked, like already 3 days in. Um, a tragedy for those people. Uh, or I guess actually good for those people because they, you know, didn't have to make last minute changes to their vacation plans. Uh, it was just like, oh, maybe we could do this thing, and then oh, guess we're not doing that thing. Like within seconds, just a snap of the finger. Really no loss for them there, but really a loss for the community as a whole. Like not like the Northern Lion community, like the global community. Like that is just tragic. First ever streamer cruise. It could have been beautiful. It could have set a precedent. Um, like obviously the reason he canceled it, right, was safety concerns. He was like, doesn't seem like a good idea. Like, what if people get hurt? What if people get sick? You know, like, what are we gonna do about that? We didn't really have plans, and I didn't think of that before. And now you guys are bringing that up. I'm like, that's actually a good point. We shouldn't do this thing because I'm no longer comfortable with it. Basically full summary of what he said. I'm pretty sure that's like almost exactly what he said. And he was like, so that's for the reason that we decided to cancel it. I just like felt like you guys were bringing up good concerns, blah, blah, blah. Devastating, really. Um, and me personally, as an outward, you know, as an outside in viewer of the whole event, someone who was never going to attend, I think it would have been great. Like if it had gone in tragedy, I would have been happy. If it had gone greatly, I would have been happy. It really would have been great either way. So me personally, I think it was a wrong decision to cancel it. It could have been beautiful, but I totally understand. It's very sad. Very, very sad. I like genuinely am torn up about it if you can't tell. Like I'm not even this isn't even a bit. I'm legitimately torn up about this thing that I would have never been at. Which is crazy, but it is true somehow. And and I think like maybe the worst thing that could have happened is like, you know, a couple people die. Like who really cares? Who really cares? Life is so futile in the grand scheme, you know, of like making history, you know, like you're making a historic moment. You're going to care about like simple human lives that are like not even going to be remembered in the history books. Like this moment is going to be remembered in the history books. These lives that were lost, no one's going to know who they are, bro. Obviously a joke, obviously a bit. Um, but also true. Also true if you really sit and think about it. So, is it a bit or am I just spitting facts? Um, anyway, I I think what was so attractive about the cruise in the first place was that Northern Lion is like the such a I don't know, he's the epitome of like streamer who wants to just live life and not interact. Like leave everything online, leave everything that's online, don't bring it into my real life. Like that was pretty much his vibe. And for him to be like, "Okay, you know what, guys? I lied. We're doing it right now, right here, right now. This is the game-changing event." It was like huge, and I thought it was going to be great. I was so hyped. And Squeaks was going to be on it. Famed streamer Squeaks was going to be on the cruise. Like, imagine how his fans felt. They would have been so sad. I don't know. I don't watch Squeaks. I assume they would have been sad. I mean, like, I genuinely don't know how badly it could have. Like, when I think about it, I can't imagine it going that badly. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the optimist in me. But I'm like, maybe it could have been great. Like if it was any other streamer, legitimately, if it was any other streamer, I'd be like, no, this is gonna go horribly. But like Northern Lion is such a by the books kind of guy. Like he'd make sure if he went through with it, he would make sure that nothing went awry, right? Like he'd be like, okay, this is going to go right because I'm not besmirching my name. Um, which is kind of the reason why he canceled it. I guess he didn't want to besmirch his name, but very sad stuff. I really would have not gone. I wouldn't have gone for sure, but I really would have been watching from the sidelines and been so happy. Anyway, that's horrible news. Um, but I think we can persist in the knowledge that greater content will be made on this on the Twitch platform. Also, the whole thing wasn't even going to be streamed, so I don't know why I was excited for it. I loved the idea. It was more of like this is a moment that represents that streamer cruises are possible, you know, and that to me was an exciting prospect. Like a streamer cruise is a thing that can happen. Which I mean, when you think about it, very exciting. Scary, yeah, very scary, but also exciting at the same time. And if you're not like a little bit scared, then is it really a good innovation, you know? I mean, think about all the great innovations of history, like the smartphone. Like a little bit scary, right? But it does what it's set out to do. Like it's good at its job. Very scary, but it's changed the world. I don't know, like electricity. Like imagine being the guy who was against electricity back in the day. Like I could see his perspective. Like this is freaky. What is this magic? Like, you know, I mean, just imagine that guy. Think about how his perspective is different, but also the same to your perspective on streamer cruises. I'm just really trying to sell you on this idea. I think the streamer cruise would have been great. I think we're going to the Pat Dan community have our own streamer cruise and work it out, make it work because this needs to happen for the greater global community at large. As I said before, I think this duck is not looking very happy. Like he looks very upset, and I think that's funny. Um, actually, I forgot the redo command. Was not Control Shift Z like it is in Krita. I have been recording for my Baby Keem album cover redesign part of my newest video. Just finished it. Just made an Instagram post on it. Very exciting stuff. You'll see this all in the video if it comes out. I have kind of a new outlook. Okay, so here's my current outlook on on my life is that if I just put my eggs in one basket, then I have no choice but to like make this thing succeed. Like this video, if I put all my eggs into it, right, and spend all my time every waking hour on it, uh I have to make it a good video. Like I don't really the success of the video, you know, it would be nice if it succeeded, but I like am very doubtful of that happening. But like I at least at the very least, if I put all my eggs in this basket, I will be determined to make it a great video, right? Because if I don't and I just spend all my time on this, I'll be so sad. So I'm gonna be like determined to make this the greatest video of all time. Um, so I think that's my current plan is like just let my life go to shambles, but make this video like priority number. Also, I'm working on a couple other videos, but like this is the one that's currently the main focus. So, you know, that's where I'm at. Let me know if you think that's a good strategy. The putting all your eggs in one basket as motivation strategy really never been seen before. Today marks the day that it's revealed to the public. And maybe if it works for me, it'll work for you. Um, so I'll be kind of a test subject. I'll let you know, carry you along this journey. Have you follow me. I honestly I filled my feed with videos of people who are unhappy with their life and like why am I here? Like what is the purpose of all these things I've been doing my entire life? Like people just ranting about how unfulfilled they feel. And it's really changed me. I've seen so much like I don't even know what it's like to hear a person talk and say I'm happy with my life. Like I don't know what that sounds like anymore because of the sheer amount of content I've consumed of people being like this sucks. All I want is to quit my job and do something else. Like I'm so wrapped up in that current mindset that I'm like I am so inspired to lock in on this video because I really want to make this album cover video. I mean, it sounds stupid. Like it sounds like a dumb idea. It doesn't sound like that innovative or anything. Like it's not going to change the world, but it's something that I think could be great. Something that I think could be a, a fun idea, and it's going to produce a couple, you know, fun artworks. Like it's going to be fun when it's all said and done. I haven't started editing or anything yet, but at this point in the process, I see potential. I see greatness in it. Um, and I think you really should too. So, you know, if you want to donate to the project, you know, just hit me up, ask me for like my Venmo link or something. Uh, we can uh we can get you in on the ground floor of this thing because I know so many of you are, you know, you're so excited. You're like, "Oh my goodness, I want to get this done." So many people have reached out to me being like, "Bro, where can I donate?" And I'm like, "Sorry, bro, we don't have a donation link yet." But, you know, if we work something out one on one, just because of obviously the sheer amount of support that we're receiving, uh, you know, we could get it done. Okay. I just kind of am trying to get this a little bit funner looking, just a little bit, you know, and we can go hit one of these bad boys, just a little bit, something like that. And then let's go back here, Fullbright, Fullbright, the Minecraft mod. That's what I was referring to there. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, in any case, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so very much for your time. I've been Pat, and you've been great. And until next time, kick rocks, pal. Bye bye.